We're back on the course.
2026 first TeeBox talk of the year. This isn't the Downs at Goodwood.
Oh, mate, I wouldn't mind this being the home track.
Oh mate, it's amazing. So where are we then?
Trump Aberdeen International reached out to us last year after seeing the pod.
Yeah, see how great we were on the camera.
Yeah.
Not so great at golf. To go to Scotland, play some amazing golf, get some amazing guests. But they pulled out, so instead, we've actually had to get some blokes at the bus stop on the way in. No. So we've got Emerson and we've got Brad. So Emerson, introduce yourself, mate.
Hi there, yeah, I'm Emerson Patton, Bright Business Advice. So we help the construction industry scale. We're business coaches, that's what we do. Been doing that now for 20 years. So we've got a community of us, over 200 construction guys that we work with.
Brilliant.
Helping loads of people like Brad and many others out there.
Brad?
So I'm Brad Lucas, Scene Services. So we're an electrical security fire contractor, work in London South East. Yeah, 10 years old as a business, growing rapidly.
And you guys work together, right?
Yeah,
At some point, yeah. And
Yeah, we coach together and he's also part of our community.
Yeah.
Brad reached out on LinkedIn, saw our stuff, saw our videos. Wasn't on the golf course then.
No.
Probably sitting in the old office. Yeah, he reached out. We sat in his boardroom and he said, yeah, you need to talk to this guy. He can, obviously Brad recognised it could help him and it could help others as well. So he mentioned talking to Emerson, but it never really happened. Then the universe.
This happened through
universe
Pro.
clashed you together.
Josh there, yeah, and
Yeah. Here we are today playing some beautiful golf, but you know, if it can carry on like this, what a lovely relationship, eh?
yeah. Well, no, look, we'll chat over the next few holes. Just look, see where you guys have been in the business, where you are now, where you want to go. Look, really keen to understand some of the challenges that you see for construction firms. I'm sure you'll open up and share some of yours as well.
And what the opportunity is in the future with technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, no better place to talk about business. For example, you're going to go for the fairway, you're going to hit the rough about 10 times, try and get back on.
They say do business on the golf course, but you end up all on your own bloody bit looking for your ball. Pick it up, mate. Let's get going.
Let's go. I thrive on it, mate.
I didn't even see it go. Oh, he's over.
On the green, I think.
Yeah. It's got EP on it.
He said, Ross.
So I met I was watching him on LinkedIn. I was looking for coach. I've had a few business coaches. I see him plugging away on LinkedIn and we reached out. Yeah, I joined up to Bright Business to do some coaching. So a few years back when we was growing.
So you're a long-term listener, first-time buyer as well then?
Yeah, that's it.
Look, I'm sure you get a lot of people like that through your social channels.
Absolutely. There's a lot of voyeurs out there, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a nice way of putting it.
They're looking in for a little while. But it's good because they get to experience what you're doing, see what you're doing. We put a lot of case studies up there. We share examples of how to do things around our 7-sector model and stuff. So people get to experience it a bit before they kind of get to meet you. So I think it helps.
Well, I think
start conversations.
Brad found us as well. A lot of people say about LinkedIn, how do you do it? You just got to show up, put stuff that's relevant and not cheesy and that sort of stuff. But
You sent me your book.
I sent you the book.
You sent your book. Who's this guy?
Because I like to understand this. That made you reach out to Brad. But I suppose, where were you with the business to think, right, I need to go and speak to him now?
I was at a pinch point. I think you go through stages. So we'd broken the million mark, but we was trying to get to the next. You know, we was trying to go to 3, and we're just at a point lost a load of work overnight, hadn't I? And that's when we had some work just taken away from us. So it was a bit of a head and hand moment. We was growing nicely, and then it's doubled back. So
Yeah, we come in sometimes. Sometimes it's just support. You know, having some of their emotional support. You know, we just sat down, put together a plan as we normally do with most people. We say in the construction industry, you can't build a building without a set of plans. So why are you trying to build a business? So we sat down, set up a bit of a plan of what you needed to do. But you know, it's the execution. You know, and this guy who just went off and absolutely put his all into going out and building his network back up, which he did incredibly well. But before we can do that, you see, before we go for growth, we have a process called manage, control, grow. So if you don't put the management into the business first and put some control in, and you did really well, like diving into your financials, didn't you? You know,
restarted, restructuring systems, just sort of put the blocks in place again.
But what you've, because obviously we're talking about Brad and what you've done with your business. Is that something that you often see with businesses when they reach out to you?
Well, there's two types of people. We got the pain problems, you know, something's gone wrong. We talk about time, team and money a lot of time. So either they're fully too busy, don't get any time to themselves, feel like they're working their arse off but not actually getting any time to spend with their family and, you know, actually enjoy life. They're grinding it in the business, you know, or it's team, you know, they want to expand now. So they're trying to find the right people. You know, like
that ceiling.
We say we're like personal trainers for a business, but instead of making your body thinner, we make your wallet fatter, right? So when people want to go up to that
full
next
of it this
level,
morning, didn't you?
that's what we do, mate.
I read that in a Chinese cracker or something.
Mate, yeah, I said that in my BNI thing whenever it was a long time ago. You know what I mean? But you've got to have a well-rounded plan, because most people don't go to the gym and just smash out your left leg and go, right,
But you've got to go and do it, right?
You have to go and make the right
Plans
bits.
are great.
Plans are good, yeah. You
Plans
got
are
to
right.
execute them.
Yeah.
But you
Your
plan
theory's
it.
brilliant.
You plan it at the beginning, but then you have to be there pushing them every month, making sure they're doing what they need to do, you know?
That's
Well,
actually
should we-
what I was going to say.
Should we go up to there, hit balls?
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause I think now the sun's out.
Get another shot there, yeah.
Well,
When you reached out to M, mate, what was it? How long ago was that?
yeah, a few years.
Yeah, a few years back,
Yeah,
3 years ago, 4 years, yeah.
But then since then, like your business has gone on a pretty good growth trajectory, right?
Yeah, like you know, within that, when I lost work, I went back at it, and I was looking to restructure. So I said, you know, I'll chat to him. I need a new coach, but I went out and picked up the black book and go winning work, and I think I won about 8 million quid worth of work in about a month. So then I had the next problem of, right, I need to
Delivering it.
Yeah.
It's a problem. A lot of people get work and they go, right, I'm okay. Then when work dries up, that feast and famine cycle, isn't it?
Yeah.
People don't hunt for work all the time.
I think I already had a good baseline, because a lot of people I know, as they start a business, you know, it's just them, and then they build up. When I was younger, I was running multi-million-pound jobs on the railway.
Yeah.
So I kind of already had a different background, I think, from a lot of people. I think that's where a lot of others I've spoke to as well in the community, and that they're struggling, because that, you know, you go from that to that to that. It's totally different stages at every point.
And it's a mental thing as well, isn't it? Go from doing 10 grand jobs to 15 to 20 to 30.
Yeah.
If we're doing big jobs already, then that's your baseline.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was always a natural path for me to get back there. It was just structuring some of the back end and building a leadership team. So that's probably, you know, that's the difference between us now and then. If I look forward, we've built a whole leadership team and
So is your job now to hunt work?
play golf mostly.
Play golf?
Yeah.
Try.
Yeah. When I'm not playing golf, then you know,
But is it
my
about-
job's like you know, I'll always be sales. I think it'd be the last thing you ever let go.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know, no one can sell you business better than you. Other side, I love the finance side. I love the numbers, and yeah, I'm absolutely anal with it.
We've had a few like clients on here now, right? And what you're saying there is you're in the helicopter essentially looking down and making sure that the business is operating how it should be.
Yeah.
And you like be keen to understand this from your point as well, Ed. A lot of our clients don't want to relinquish that control. They still like, and maybe that's the mindset because they were one of the guys on site.
Yeah.
They haven't ran the multi-million-pound jobs like you were saying.
Yeah.
So for them, that relinquishing that control scares them. They'd rather be having a crack with the boys at 10 o'clock in the tea hut and
Do what you know. They always say if you're comfortable, you're never going to grow. You've got to be feeling a bit uncomfortable in the next stage.
I suppose you're exposed to
Very
it
similar.
without the risk, essentially.
A lot of people struggle to say go from that subby to owner operator, then being owner manager. Do you say that quite a bit?
Yeah, so we see it as like an experience thing. To start with, you kind of start as an employee, don't you?
Yeah.
And then you go up to be a subcontractor. Then at some point you grab a few more subbies, and now you've got a business.
Yeah.
The thing is,
But they're still a subby in their head.
yeah, but they got a business, but they never really meant to have a business. They
Yeah.
didn't set out to have a business. So they didn't really put any structure in place. They didn't really think about, well, what does it mean to have systems? You know, I need to have proper systems in place so I can manage where my guys are, what jobs they're doing, when they're doing them. When we first started, didn't you, Brad? You redid all your finances, totally went into getting absolute
Into
control,
the granular,
knowing the
yeah.
margins,
Yeah.
into the granular. A lot of people don't do that, but the thing is, if you don't get the money right, you know, 96% of businesses that fail because of cash flow.
Even for us as a business, cash is king. But for anyone watching this now, because I'm sure there'll be people like Brad was 3 years ago who's at that pinch point or even smaller, maybe sub 500.
Yeah.
What would you say is probably the top thing when you talk about systems or cash flow? Like, what is that?
Well, when we start with it, first thing we've got to do is just get them to understand their monthly P&L. That's the simple. The P&L is like looking in the rear view mirror and you're driving. You can see backwards. You can't change it, but at least you know what you got. You need to know monthly, not at the end of the financial year when the accountant gives it to you, but actually understanding what sales am I making, what's coming in. So we just go through everything, tighten it all up, and actually get them to have a much better relationship with their accountant. A lot of them don't. The accountant won't come forward and ask you to do stuff unless you kind of ask them to do it. But we get them to nudge them along to just really get those numbers in so you can then see what am I making in my jobs. Yeah.
Do you get any resistance? People, they think they want to make change, they think they need it, they want it, but actually when they come to you, show them behind the curtain, go, right, this is what it should be. They go, oh, hang on a minute, this is above me.
Well, sometimes, but then what we try and do is we've got people who work with us. So a couple of my coaches specialise in doing the numbers as well. They love it. They get right in there and do the finances. So we're not just saying they've got to become the mathematician. They just have to understand the need to get the information. So you start with the P&L, which is understanding what's going on at the minute. Then you start looking forward. Cash flow forecast, what happens the next month? So month 1, month 2, and eventually looking like a 12-week forecast. So you can see what sales am I predicting, what work in progress have I got on, stuff that I haven't yet invoiced, but I know I need to.
But for you then, Brad, because I know you guys, you're not actively working together now, but the systems that you guys worked on, but do they still form part of the core of you guys?
Yeah, they do. But I think it's a forever changing at stages. What worked at 3 million won't work at 10. So you're always changing, shaping, and tech, especially now. I think that's the biggest thing. Tech's changing.
Yeah.
What used to be every year is changing every week. So we're always trying to implement new and make it better and slicker. It's just making it more. Efficiency is the ultimate thing.
That's the same for every business, isn't it? We're the same.
Yeah.
We've hit a threshold. Need more staff, different skill set in the business. What we needed before, don't need anymore.
And I think you don't want to put a system in that. Like I'll try and simplify everything. Gross profit, net profit. That's all that really matters. But then just knowing that, don't put a system in that then makes 5 steps into 9.
Yeah.
You've just touched on tech there, and we're on our journey in developing it, aren't we? And
yeah.
You're a big advocate as well. So let's try and make the most of this weather and
Look at
chat
that.
about it about there. Look at that.
What a view.
Let's go and lose some balls.
Yeah.
Let's go.
He's got you, Dan. Oh. Man, what a beautiful golf hole.
Oh, nice.
Get a few takes on this one.
This shot, mate. Beautiful.
We just touched on it then, and for you as well, Brad.
And a beautiful putt.
Nice part. Look, the AI boom is everywhere,
Of course.
and we're seeing it in construction. Do you welcome AI? Do you fear for it?
No.
What's your viewpoint on it? And you as well, mate.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely love AI. One of the things that's happening, we look at £10 tasks, £100 tasks, and £1,000 tasks in a business. You can get AI to do loads of £10 task stuff for you. You can be using AI to link different parts of the business together, to almost act as like a little butler in the business, moving pieces into different bits of software. In the minute we ain't got robots, or I did see the Chinese robots dancing, they're doing martial arts, but at the minute I don't think they can lay a brick straight or rewire, or put up all the tray and do that properly yet. So they're going to be all right on site for a while, but it's the back office is where we can get the efficiency.
Yeah, I think we've got the biggest boom coming utilising AI. We're growing with a lot of field engineers doing service work. Install. That's not going to change it, but the way you've got a big opportunity in business now, especially in trades. At the moment, it's going to end up being more cost effective. I think if you've been certain your overhead percentage cost is that, it's going to be that. It's going to be a lot smaller. It's
Scale of economies, essentially.
going to be more efficient. Yeah, and more profitable.
So do you have someone in your business that's like solely responsible for that part then?
Yeah, so we've been building our own cloud, our own tools.
Right.
I think the issue everyone's got is it moves so quick. The market moves, every week. There's new
Daily
things
now,
out.
isn't it? Yeah.
I think you just got to be ready to keep pivoting. and keep changing constantly.
So do you have someone internally who's keeping an eye on the changes, constantly working, tweaking it, or is that on you in a minute?
No, so we've had someone doing it for us.
In-house?
In-house. So they've been doing that. I think it's needed, to be honest.
I agree.
It's a massive part of it. And
Full-time job.
we try to say to people in our business, don't worry, because we're scaling. Which means is that you're going to be able to do twice the output. That's the only thing that's going to change.
But then you get that consistency that we were talking about.
Yeah, that's what
you're
changes.
having to try and replicate it.
Yeah, there's loads of
Well, look, when I was at one of your events back end of last year, there was that product there, and it was the answering of the calls.
So they plug into a Simpro system and they will answer the call. They'll even screen the call. They can even answer, I think, they can see what the errors are, what's coming up, what's your problem. They're then capturing all the information and then actually rerouting an engineer to go to the job to go and fix the issue because it realised what the error was and what they needed to
So it
send out.
troubleshoots as well.
Yeah.
So I'm going to challenge this, right? Because that's who I am, and that's why we're here to chat it. So is that an AI thing, or is that just a bloody good CRM?
Well,
Because for us, so I'm going to use our business as an example, right? When it was just Dan and I, 6-7 years ago, everything was in our heads.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure it was for you and you when you start out. But then as the business grew and we brought people in, I knew that I couldn't just keep client notes in my head. They have to go into the system so that if Lottie or whoever it is or Charlotte picks up that client, they know exactly what's going on. And the same for me, where I'm stepping away from the business day-to-day operationally, if a client goes under inquiry, I need to have a timeline of exactly what's happened and when for audit purposes and everything that goes with that. So that's not necessarily an AI thing though, is it? That's just a
CRM, but that's the notes you're talking about. What we were talking about there with AI is actually like having all of the manuals from all of the particular products and all the FAQs in its head. And somebody says, oh, I've got this problem where this light happens and this thing happens on site, this happens, and it will be able to find, when that happens, this was the error, and it will know to fix it.
We always have a lot of highly paid people doing them low value tasks, and just because it falls in still part of their job. Project managers bogged down paperwork. That's where that changed it. What used to take them 3 hours, they can do it in 10 minutes. Then they can focus on the job that they're good at doing.
Thing because of the space that we work in, it is such a sensitive area.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I have to have humans there interpreting, listening, taking it in, interpreting it, and making notes.
It's available.
Yeah, look, I'm a huge advocate for the data.
Yeah.
Because we only make decisions based on data. If someone comes to us and says, I think we should do that, show me.
You've got to utilise it's the right thing. Like we had a conversation yesterday, didn't we? Saying, like what you guys do. And I could go and use the AI and say, draw me up a contract, but I don't want to do that because how do I know that's right?
Yeah. And it can make it up.
Of course that's the
AI
thing.
can hallucinations.
And there's no way AI is ever going to be able to go off the TeeBox and that far right into the rough. That's the key. It's never going to change. It's never going to take that.
It can do the shot shape.
I'm still going to own that. I'm going to keep that.
Yeah. And chip back in and a lovely putt back down. So that was all right.
That was AI.
I know, you know what you do, yeah. Chase
It's not CGI, that one.
AI, edit me on the fairway, please.
So is it just, we're talking about AI and model learning and all of this stuff, but is that really the only technology that you guys support, or is there other?
Oh no. Obviously, you've got to have a baseline for your business. You need to have a structure, something that takes all the inputs, so all your opportunities, your sales, how you're managing that. We're using one called Live Switch. He's even got a camera that he sticks on there, Lee Bournemouth and Blackrock Electrical. He puts the camera on, walks the site, it records it, and it turns it and interprets it into a report that allows him to create a quote really quickly. And then even now, it will then link it into his CRM back-end system and allow him to get all the data to be able to do the quote really quick. Is speeding up the process. You would have to go back, write your notes and type it up. Now
Efficiency,
from 3 hours to 3 minutes.
Just making everything more efficient, more streamlined. That's what it's going to do. Yeah. Let that do the bits you don't. Let it do the dog work.
And your team then, Brad, have they adopted it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
a fan. And
yeah, we've tried to use it. I say I want everyone to be as efficient as possible because if we're scaling and growing, we need to constantly be as efficient as possible.
Course,
But you have to put limitations around it as well.
And you get staff offering up ideas
Yeah, always. I'm a massive advocate of, if you've got an idea, bring it to the table. If it's better than what we're doing now, let's do it. And I think, the biggest risk is not taking one. If someone's got an idea, run with it. Try it for 3 months. If it don't work, don't do it.
Or if we lost
Stop it. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, come on, let's go and peg it up. It's too nice to miss this course. Yeah, what the hell?
Ooh, we're on the green.
To see if she's all right. And that's high enough, is it?
Game tip. You seen the little plane we got?
Go on. Oh.
So do you ever come across firms who are like creating or duplicating effort, creating documents and doing a lot of donkey work in the background where it's so inefficient that, for you obviously, it's silly they're doing it, but is it quite common for firms to do that sort of stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have a process where we map out all of the stages of a business.
Yeah.
Look at what they're doing. We do it on we call it a customer journey map. And there you can see when they're multi-keying things in. So they might be doing it twice into a system or 3 times. People are doing it. And obviously we then look for what technology can do that can wrap that up into one easy way of doing things. Can it gather all of the invoices, scan them and put them into a system?
This is what I said to Ash, because obviously I go out and speak to clients, understand what to do, how they run the business, to understand where the risk is. And I see a lot of firms who are doing a lot of effort which they don't need. And that's what I said to Ash, we need to create a way to save people time. And that's why you come up with HardHats Direct, wasn't Ash?
Yeah, no, so where firms are using subbies and they're paying down a day rate and they've got a site diary, the time on site is being collected that way and that's what they're utilising to pay. But then they think from a compliance perspective, they need to create an invoice on behalf of the subcontractor so that if HMRC came in and said, does the subcontractor raise an invoice, that they can show them, which from our perspective they don't, because there's no piece of legislation to say that invoices are required. But from an efficiency perspective, that's so inefficient that actually they're doubling up on something.
Double keying or double,
So like Dan said, that's why we built HardHats Direct, which is essentially a payment platform where our firms can now pay subcontractors, be it individuals or limited companies, through our platform.
Yeah, it makes sense, absolutely.
That's what we use a platform right now.
Do you?
Yeah, it is. We used to do, I remember sitting there on a Friday, I used to have, like, as we was growing and trying to make loads of manual payments and having to go through it all one by one, and then, all of a sudden then you can click one button and pay 100 people. It's like, saves hours.
Okay, yeah, the uptake, well, Dan, don't you? Because we've got firms that were probably similar to what you were, Brad, way back when, where they're just owner-operators and you'll have these
Yeah, absolutely. They
They
still start on the tools and they start in the office and they're there till midnight because they do a day on the tools and then they come back in and try and do all the admin in the evening. They haven't built the team or the systems to do it when they're in the office,
Yeah, exactly. And that's what our system does is they can either input or upload their pay data. It then will calculate how much CIS is to be attributed or applied to each of those payments. The client then makes one payment for the total amount of the wages into a wallet that's set up in their name. And then on the designated payment date, like what you've just said with the provider you use, it sends all the payments out to the individuals.
Yeah, great.
And then it creates an invoice on behalf of the client as a self-billed invoice for the subcontractor, which then gets pushed straight into either their Dext or their Hubstock.
See, we're doing that across 2 platforms. That sounds more combined than what we're doing. We'll have to have a conversation around that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you just got a new client.
Got a new opportunity there.
Yeah. Look, timesheets is a bizarre word, right? Because everybody uses it in construction, but timesheets predominantly are for employees. So why would a subcontractor, from a compliance perspective, be creating a timesheet?
Well, it's just the billable hours you want to capture against the job that's going on.
Well, yeah, but
you don't know how much time. If they're on a fixed rate, it doesn't matter, does it?
exactly.
Yeah.
Talking about hours on site, then hours on the golf course. Go on, send one.
But I reckon we should nearest to the pin on this one.
Yeah.
Yes? 100 quid.
Oh, mate, that looks
How
like...
far is it?
Right, we're going to that little flag down there, nearest the pin, 20 quid. I'm not too sure how close I am to the green.
Oh, have you already hit one? Oh no.
On that note, I'll tell you what we'll do.
What's that, Paul? Lovely.
No, it's supposing.
Payments. So mate, where do you see, because I know we've got this retention piece that's potentially coming in, where do you see the industry in the next year, 2 years?
I think it's going to change. I think, things like the old mentality of retentions and long payment terms, I think they're going to be gone. And I think there'll be tighter restrictions around knocking people. I think there's too much of that going on.
It's about, how do you manage that then?
Well, we've gone through the process and people going under and taking us for money. So we've just put in process trade credit insurance now
Right.
to make sure that don't happen again.
So it goes back to what we were saying earlier, you paid for your education really.
Paid for it, yeah.
working
Paid for it
with-
the hard way, yeah.
Also about picking the people you're working with, looking at who they are, looking at the background on them. You can't pick them all, but you've got to do your research on them. Obviously, if you can in some way get some sort of deposit in there yourself or something. But even now, like we work with quite close with the ECA, we're in the commercial associate member with them, and they're driving with a bunch of others through the government to get rid of retentions. Also to try and bring things down to I think it's 30 days.
30 days, 30 days.
30-day payments,
Well look, the country's only bloody good at one thing, and that's building things, and it feels like it gets treated the worst out of all the different industries, isn't it? So,
Yeah, I think it's going to change. I think so much money being pumped into infrastructure is a huge boom.
Yeah.
And it can't keep going. You can't have a big boom in the industry and then have the same problems.
No,
I think
it's been treated like
yeah,
dogs.
exactly, yeah.
And for you then, because you see it from the other side, and you see more problems than what Brad does because his are his own, essentially. What do you see as like the biggest challenges in the industry for the next 12 to 24 months?
So the biggest issues I've got is it's all about recruiting the right people and training and developing your own. So, the apprentice scheme doesn't lend itself very easily to making it cost effective to take on apprentices now, but we've got to get the government to help support that. That's got to be the way, but you've got to build your own army. You've got to go, what do I want? Some of our guys, one of them just won an award with the ECA actually for the way they did it, and they set up what the standards are, what they want to see done, what portfolio they want to see them built against what they do, like year 1, year 2, year 3, and also if they can complete year 1 quicker, then they can move up to year 2, get a bit more pay.
Over to about my award I got, top 50 SME.
There you go.
For apprenticeships in the UK, and went to the House of Lords to go and get it.
Did you really?
Yeah, it did, yeah.
The other big issue is going to be about finding the right sort of work. There's so many people now, instead of doing 3 people to attend, you've got 10, right? So you've got to be able to sort of stand out, position yourself in the market. A lot of these guys are kind of backwards on their communications and all the way that they put stuff out there, so it's about making themselves look apart as well. So that's another big issue.
That's interesting you say that, right? Because we've covered a lot small in, but it's one thing that we haven't spoken about is a massive part of our business is marketing.
Yeah. It's massive. Well, something they don't do very often.
Construction's phone to
struggles.
read with marketing because they think marketing is taking a photo of the unit they just built or the system they've installed.
Yeah.
It's great, but there's no context behind that.
My best marketing, people said to me, have you won that work? It's just building relationships.
Yeah.
This whole industry is built on relationships and reputation.
Well, the thing is, with the subcontract chain, it's trust.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've got the PC, the MC, they've got the work. They've got to trust that their suppliers can do it, trust their suppliers to do it, and it's all about trust.
Yeah.
We're all in a trust game. And if you can't follow through on what you say, then obviously that's when it comes apart. But the only way you get trust is seeing people.
Yeah,
No matter how good the quote is, if they don't trust you, then
Yeah.
we
it ain't gonna work.
Whereas having systems that make it work, you see, that's the big part. So it's re-engineering their back end to make sure when they say they're going to do that, it's not just that they want to do that.
They can do it.
Actually can do it, and it does happen. And the right things turn up at the right time on the right day.
we spoke about it earlier, and it was about what you've just said there, that whole trust piece. We market the shit out of our business, right? So do you.
Absolutely, yeah.
But you've met us and Em through LinkedIn, but you still want that white to the eyes bit.
Yeah.
You still want to see it like, yes, you might know what we're about and think we're the right person or right people to be able to fix the problem you've got, but you still want to know, yeah, I can get on with you. Like, can I make this work? Can I be honest with you? And
You're not an AI. You are real.
no,
You are real.
mate, this is real, unfortunately. Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see what marketing looks like in the industry over the next 1 to 2 to 5 years. Because, like you say, walking around and saying, "Oh yeah, look at this cabling that we've clipped up and we taped it, so we know exactly what it is."
Yeah.
But people, of course, people care about that.
Really,
It
no,
goes back to what
boring.
they care about is, can you deliver it on time, in budget, and without bloody headaches?
But construction is probably the original personal brand industry,
Yes.
Yeah.
because you're trusting that builder.
Yeah,
He's not
yeah,
building
you are.
it.
Yeah.
He ain't building it.
Yeah.
It's just, but because you like him, you trust him,
Yeah.
you're buying into him.
You trust that he's leading, so
He's
he'll
gonna do the
last.
right
It's the
thing.
original
He's being
personal
led-
brand
yeah.
marketing, and then it's come away from it. People think it's got to be shiny photos and presentations, and it's the simple stuff, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
who's this guy? Does he do what he say he can do? And is he a dickhead?
Yeah.
If he is, then sorry, but
Yeah.
at least you know what you're dealing with.
Yeah, look, and I think we'll see a lot of. It's interesting you say that. Maybe founder-led content in the industry is the way forward.
For
Yeah,
construction,
100%,
100%.
I've written a book on the subject, Bright Business Transformation for Contractors, and I did that before AI, so I had to do it with proper homework. Like, it took me 18 months to write that down.
Do you handwrite it as well?
Yeah, I literally no. I actually had to do a pen.
And the
yeah.
candlelight.
Yeah.
Is that this?
But we had to put that in, but by showing you and demonstrating your knowledge, and also like webinars and things like that, workshops, we do things like that to show what you know. So these guys is going to be, will they be able to start stepping into demonstrating? Because that's effectively just sharing content. It's like what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
It's like, how are you sharing your content to show what you know?
There you go. What a lovely way to finish it. Then we'll get
Hopefully it
back
goes that way.
I think marketing's right when your handicap's low.
They call it the greatest 36 in the world, and they could be right.
Yeah, the 36 shots I took on the first hole were amazing.
But no, boys, thank you so much for
thanks for coming
joining us for
Thank
this.
you.
It's been a great couple of days, great conversation. And just final one from me really. If you could give any business 3 pieces of advice, key takeaways, what would they be, mate?
Manage, control, grow. So manage your business, manage your plan, control your financials, control your systems, and put in the work for growth with your marketing and your sales process. That's what we do.
Perfect.
That's what I'd recommend.
Cool. And look, if people are watching this and they're thinking, do you know what, they're like Brad, they had that pinch point, where can they find you?
So we're on brightbusinessadvice.com. So they can come and find us on there. They can book a free 30-minute review and we sit down and look at what they're doing. We run workshops and webinars. They can come and check that stuff out, or they can get a copy of the audio book. It's on Audible, or the book on Amazon.
And for anyone who's on the fence, they're thinking, do you know what?
Been watching for a while.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure to book out. Have you got any community space? WhatsApp groups, Facebook? Is there anywhere that they can join there?
Yeah, absolutely. So we run 3 times a year a big mastermind meeting where we get all the contractors together, so they can come along, meet with all our clients. They're already in the room as well, so they can speak to the people who are working with us. You guys obviously attended a few times as partners on the event.
Yeah, cool. And look, again, we can share copies of that. So for anyone watching it, they wanna join, they can.
Yeah, for me personally, big shout out to Trump International again for inviting us up here. I mean, look, if you had to pick a Carlsberg day to play golf in Scotland on the coast, this is it, and a golf course. For people who haven't been here, it's just about golf. There's no big clubhouse. I was expecting a big resort. It's tiny. It's just about golf, and it's beautiful golf as well.
Yeah, it's done properly.
Yeah, it's a proper golf. It's done properly, and halfway house on the new course. Unreal.
Unreal. Those sausage rolls.
Yeah.
10
whiskey.
The whiskey,
Fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. It's been amazing.
No, you're welcome.
I really appreciate it.
Brad, thanks for coming on, mate. I know we've worked together for a while, and your business evolves. Great to see the wins and the challenges you've been overcoming. But for anyone who, again, like Ash said, anyone who's been seeing our stuff on LinkedIn and they're thinking, I'm already, I'm big enough, I'm small enough, all these things that we hear all the time. What would be the messages to people on LinkedIn? They've seen our stuff a lot too short to reach out yet.
Reach out. It's easy, isn't it? It doesn't matter what size you are for you guys. I think you never wait until you think it's a problem.
Yeah.
Do it before a problem. It's like getting a burglar alarm. on a house, you know.
After you've been robbed.
Don't do it after you've been robbed.
Yeah.
Do it beforehand.
Yeah.
You know, so I think you guys and also, you know, if someone signs up to you guys, you might take them to Scotland on a really good ship. Look at this, you know what I mean?
But anyone obviously in your industry, mate, who wants to reach out to you personally, how do they find you?
LinkedIn is probably the easiest for me.
Yeah.
LinkedIn, obviously, Scene Services website.
Yeah.
But yeah, mate,
On the golf course somewhere.
on the golf course, yeah, I'm open to any other, you know, top 100 courses. I don't want anything. I don't want anything outside of that. But yeah, any other invites.
Top 100,
Yeah, reach out to me.
Internationally.
Yeah, yeah.
very much,
Thank
Yeah,
you.
mate,
Cheers.
thank
No,
you.
thanks for the
Thank
invite.
you.
Brilliant.
Great, thank you, mate.
Thank you, mate.
Brilliant.
What a great time.
Yeah, well,
Great
mate.
talking, bro, mate. Cheers.
Let's
then.
go.
Let's go and finish 18.
Let's go.